Hog sports all plays. Yeah. Hog sports all plays. Hog sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Hog sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hog sports all plays.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to G.W.R. Live. We're joined tonight by special guest Shane Cowsert, also known as J.H. Hogg. Talk about the big Aacw show this weekend. Also joined by my dad, Tony Gonzalez, as always. How's it going, Shane?
What's up, fellas? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good. Doing pretty good.
Doing good. Already have Marcus Fine in here. Marcus says hello, everyone.
Hey, Marcus.
Yeah, it's 7:10 on Thursday night, and it's freaking cold, fellas. It's about time for me, man, to roll up underneath that blanket and try to cover my head, man, and try to, get me some beauty sleep.
It's cold. I just had to run and pick up some prescriptions real quick before the show. I had been outside most of the day. I didn't realize it was that chilly. I was like, "Whoa! I should have brought my coat with me."
It was earlier today, man. It was like the sun was shining a little bit, but I don't think it was putting out any heat because it's like right now it's like 52 to 53 degrees right now. Wind's blowing kind of, whipping through the trees right now. So, it's that time of year where about ready to see that white shit flowing, dropping down and causing a lot of problems for everybody now. Getting ready to watch for that reindeer and that big old jolly man. So, we're not too far away from that right now, but first order of business, man, is Saturday night, man, October 15th.
We're about 48 hours away.
Yeah, man. Kokomo, Indiana, Carver Community Center, 1030 North Purdom Street. There's going to be a big show. Some guys on have labeled it our AACW's WrestleMania. We have a pretty good crowd, or we have a pretty good card, man, in store for that night. So hopefully, you guys are going to be watching things, doing the pod. Well, with that live broadcast, man, watching our action, watching us, and you get a special treat, man. Young fella just forced my hand to try to get me out of retirement, bring me back in one more time to lace them boots. So wasn't very happy about that, but when you try to go on about your own way and try to do your regular thing, and somebody tries to force you to try to think that they want something that they really don't want, and they have to do some lowball shit to try to get there, when the guys, everybody who followed that night, my whole career, man, my career started in professional wrestling back in 92. And, here it is 2022. So that's, 30 years. I took probably a hiatus for maybe about 3 to 5 years. So, I've had an active career for 25, but I've been involved in wrestling for 30. And, the super fan, our big super fan, Marcus Fine, that young gentleman has followed my career, man, ever since pretty much since the first year that I actually wrestled. So, the guys kind of backed me against the wall and chose to put their hands on Marcus to try to get what they wanted. And, I'm not only fighting for the right, I'm fighting for the good stuff, man. Everybody knows the golden standard, man. You guys know the golden standard. Now it's the golden prophecy. you guys are really familiar with it. And last show, Mike King come back in, and he come back into AACW and hit with a bang. And him and Justin Terrell, man, tried to go out there and do their own thing. And once they went over to Marcus and they put their hands on Marcus, man, that's something you don't do. So Justin, yeah, he got what he wanted. But when he stops to think about it, the time's ticking, tick, 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 tick right now. And, I don't think that Justin's really going to want to, he's not going to want what he gets on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a big match. I'm looking forward to it. What did you think about some of the stuff that they did? I mean, it was a lot of shady stuff went on that night. What's your feeling on that?
To me, man, that's as low as you can go, man. For your own to go into your own personal agenda and try to attack a fan to try to get something that you really want, try to push somebody in a corner to try to, man, I was done. Everybody knew, they kind of knew the story, man. My wrestling career, basically, last November was done, man. They retired me. Mike King come in, Justin and Mike put together a little plot to try. I guess when they be talking on their video games at 4 a.m. playing, shooting up the zombies and shit like that. They kind of scoured this plan together to try to go out there and let's see if we can sucker Hogg in the ring one more time. So Justin, he knew how to kind of tug at the heartstrings a little bit because, everybody might not be really familiar with the history between me and Mike King, but Mike King and me have a history that goes way back. And Justin, Justin's been a part of my wrestling career and, my personal life for 15 years. And, he probably knows me better than anybody as far as that. But, him and Mike, man, they put together some kind of plan to, it all started back in November, man, when we were, over at the other venue and brought Mike in. Mike come in, my career was on the line and basically, he bamboozled me. So he got, basically he got me retired because, the stipulation was that if my team lost the match, man, I would have to hang him up and could never perform again. And, we fast forward to our new venue, our new year. This will be the 5th show, I believe, of this year. And we slotted for 6 shows here at the Carver Community Center here in Kokomo. And so on the 4th show, man, I'm sitting there thinking, everything's going to be cool. I'm doing, my regular thing that I usually do, taking the photos and stuff of, some of the guys, because, I'm that's what I, it's kind of a hobby of mine that I'm a freelance photographer and I take pictures and stuff at the shows. And, they kept trying to get me involved, man. Talk to me, this little pig talking about this hog farmer and, he's got all these plots against us. I just do my regular job, just go out there and take photographs, man, watch the guys wrestle and, I'm watching perform and stuff like that. And then, here you go. It's the numbers game, man, where you got the Golden Prophecy. You've got, you've got Big Bear Bastard. You've got Jake Elliott. You've got Justin Terrell. You've got Travis Southern. You've got Hawaiian Hitman Kai Maho. All these guys, man, together, and Brody Bodkins was on the sideline. So, that's the whole group right there. And, these guys come out and they just run rud shot over Aacw for, it's going into the 2nd year, man. So, they've basically been able to do anything they wanted just because of the fact that they feel that they've got all the power and they don't need to be stopped with what they're doing. But when you go out, talk is something, man, where you can sit there and you can talk to somebody and you can try to poke the bear. But when you poke the bear and the bear gets pissed off, and the bear is eventually, he's going to bite your damn finger if you continue to poke him. And when he needs to eat, he's probably mighty hungry, but you know, I mean, they crossed the line when they were going to do some dirty deeds to Marcus Fine, and you know, I mean, he's sitting over there just watching the show as he always does. Good gentleman, one of the greatest guys I've ever met in this. You know, I mean, big super fan of not only AACW. You know, I mean, he's a regular ever since we started back up. You know, Marcus has been a loyal fan to us, but yet Marcus travels all over Indiana, Ohio, other places, Kentucky, everywhere. And you know, he just loves professional wrestling. And you know, I mean, I get a kick every now and again because he'll send me a picture, you know, where it's either a picture of me in action in my, you know, previous years, or it's a, you know, a poster with my name on it or something like that. And we've kept in touch over the years. You know, Marcus has followed my career, like I said, 30 years. And you know, I mean, they take a cheap shot at him, man. I had to stand up and I had to do something because I couldn't just let him go out there and, you know, try to take him out, man, because he's just too good of a guy to do that shit. Somebody's got to stand up and fight for it. So, you know, I mean, Justin, he's got what he wanted. So, I mean, he forced me in a corner and I put the stipulation out there that, you know, we'll be tied to the wrist and a good old fashioned bull rope match. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Well, you know, fellas, I'm going to be 100% honest with you right now. You know, I'm a lot older than I used to be. And I don't know how much I've got to give, but I guarantee you one thing, man. This right now, this is the you know, the final act in my, you know, in my J.H. Hogg's in his wrestling career. So, you know, I mean, as the curtain closes on my final act, man, I'm just going to try to go out there and I'm just going to do what I can, man, because I'm not only fighting for, you know, Marcus, I'm not only fighting for everything else. I'm kind of fighting, you know, for myself in a way, because Justin took some personal shots at me, you know, I mean,
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
They poked that bear a lot before they even went over to Marcus, because you were sitting over there doing commentary with us, and they came over and
yeah,
they said some harsh shit, and they done a lot of bad stuff that night before they ever got to Marcus.
yeah, it's true. It's true. So, I mean, you can only take so much, man. And I mean, it's like, as a man, when people try to put you, you know, in a situation where you try to stay clear of, you know, I mean, it's like, man, you know, I mean, it's like, what do I do? But, you know, I mean, it's time to fight now. So the gloves are off. And, you know, Mike's going to have his hands full. I believe Mike's going to have his hands full on Saturday night with Christian Cash. You know, SWS Shooting with Shane has pretty much labeled Christian the savior of AACW. And you know, like I said, man, we've got a lot of talented guys in our, you know, on our roster, and that's you know, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of our guys are newer. They're newer with you know, one, you know, or less, you know, 1-2 years or less in the business. But you know, I mean, these guys are, man, they can go out there and perform, and they can, you know, they can put on some great matches. And but you know, like I said, man, Mike's gonna have his hands full that night with Christian. Um, I have every thought in my head that says Christian's going to come out on top in that match. And you know, there's a lot riding on this match for me too, because not only in this match with the stipulations I put in bull rope number 1, with it being a bull rope match, and I, you know, basically said that if I win, I will become the EEC champion, which is a belt that I put into our promotion to honor my father, Earl Eugene Cowsert. So that's, and it is the AACW Eternal Excellence Championship. So if I win the match, I will become that champion. And also too, excuse me, if I win the match, Christian Cash gets his title shot against Justin the following show in November. So, you know, I mean, I guess when you know, I mean, there's a lot riding on my return to the ring. You know, I mean, number 1 is you know, I mean, I want to be satisfied with my performance, because you know, I have a handful of fans coming. And you know, some of the people have not, you know, And I know most of the locker room has not ever seen me don the the put on the bibs and lace up the boots. So they haven't seen it, but I just hope I hope I can just give do well out there. I mean, I know Justin, he's gonna. It's always the numbers game, man. And he's aligned himself with 6, 7, tough dudes. And I mean, this is a no disqualification match, so I take it. The numbers game's gonna be on high alert, man. There's gonna be I'm gonna have to fight, probably 6 to 7 people at a time. I mean, because they'll all show up. I do. I did hear that Brody Bodkins will not be in attendance at this show because he has he supposedly is out of state, or he can't make it to the show because of his travel. Something about his travel. I'm not exactly sure where he went to or what happened with it, but he's not. He supposedly not going to be able to get here by show day. So Brody Bodkins, from my understanding, will not be at the show. So I mean, that's one less headache that I have to really worry about for that. But I mean, it's not going to make it any easier because you have Travis, you have Travis Southern out there. You have the big bearded bastard. You'll have Justin. I'm sure Mike King will show his face up someplace. I mean, I'm talking like 7 guys. Minus Brody. So it's not going to be an easy task, but I mean, hey, I think that with the fans behind me and just the thought of everything that goes down, I think I'm gonna give it a hell of a shot, man, and I'm gonna try to come out on. That's all I can do is try to get the win, to bring that championship, that AEC championship, back to Aacw and give it a little push, this one last time before I hang up the boots. I think that it would be a fine situation that if I would hold the championship that I put into our promotion to honor my father. There has been, the first the first champion, the first EEC champion of AACW, when we very first brought the belt into existence and put it into play. Road War Animal was our very first champion. So for me, going back on my love of wrestling and everything else, it would be an honor, if I could pull this win out and get that championship, to hold a belt that, I mean, Animal had held for a short period of time. That would be special to me, and I mean, and such an honor it would be to capture that title because of the fact that it's got my father's namesake on it. And, it just doesn't belong around Justin Terrell's waist. And, I mean, because everything he's dishing out, man, it's just no good, man. It's no good. He calls himself the Prophet. And, I mean, there is no prophet, I mean, not one guy is a prophet, not, I mean, nobody's better than anybody else. I just sometimes, I don't know what to say because of the fact that, I've just had a lot on my mind the last few days. And, I'm going to try to do everything I can to, bust his ass. So I'm setting out in my truck because I haven't made it inside yet, and it's probably a little bit hard to see me, but we'll put some light on the situation so where you guys see my ugly ass face. So
I'm sure that you've got a game plan coming into this match. You're not going to give away right now because, like you said, it's probably going to be 4, 5, 6, 7 on one. So I'm sure you got a game plan because you know what you're facing, and I'm sure you're not going to give that away at this time, which I understand. But do you think it's an advantage, this match, for you to be a bull rope match?
well, I mean, it could be an advantage, but it also could be a disadvantage too because Justin and myself will be tied wrist to wrist. With a link to the bull rope, and in the middle of it, there is a cowbell. So, I mean, the first person that cowbell, that, I mean, you pick it up, and that cowbell could do a lot of damage to somebody's skin. You know, I mean, it could crack your dome a couple times, especially if you hit him on the top of the head with it. You know, I mean, it's like, okay, or, you know, any place else. You know? I mean, he could bleed. And the same thing as I could too, but I don't really think that happens. So, you know, I mean, but like I said, it could be an advantage. It could be a disadvantage. So, you know, I mean, hell, who knows, man? They may take the damn rope off and tie me up, you know, tie me or some shit. You never know, because there's 7 guys. There'll be 5, 6, 7 guys coming out there, and I'm sure that all of them will be involved in the match somewhere along the line. So it's not going to be a one-on-one. And,
It's
you know,
never a one-on-one with them guys.
not at all. Not at all. And I mean, I'm just going to have to, hopefully the fans come out and they support Hogg one last time. And, you know, I have to listen to them, kind of try to help me out, you know, make sure that they'll be in the eyes, you know, they'll be the eyes in the back of my head that I, you know, so to speak, that I won't be able to, you know, maybe I look, hey, he's over here, you know, I mean, maybe that'll help me out. So, you know, I mean, I'm just, you know, like I said, man, it could possibly be a disadvantage because, you know, I mean, once you're strapped to the wrist with somebody, you know, I mean, you know, you'll have a little bit of distance between each other, but there's really no running away. I mean, because you guys were tied together. So, you know, I mean, the only other match that would be, you know, like with no running would be a cage match. And, you know, back in my history, me and Mike King had a cage match, and Mike King, you know, Mike King took the title from me, in a cage. So, yeah, so I mean, that one stung a little bit too. But like I said, you know, um, me and Justin are tied at the wrist with the bull rope, and, you know, I mean, the bull rope and then a cowbell in the middle of it, and it's going to be a race to see which one can get to the bell first, or we can, you know, pardon this, but ring thy bell. So,
Have you been in a bull rope matches before?
no, man, never. This is the first one. This is the first one that I've ever been into. But, you know, I've been doing a little bit of homework. You know, I mean, I'm everybody knows, if you know me, man, I'm a big Dusty Rhodes fan, and I've been watching a lot. I've watched a few tapes with Dusty, some of his bull rope matches and stuff like that. One of the most memorable ones that I seen was him and Superstar Billy Graham in Madison Square Garden. Beautiful match. So, you know, I mean, hopefully I can go out there and perform, you know, have a little bit of the Dusty juice in me, and perform like Dusty did, you know, on some of the big time matches. So, oh, but never have, man. This is the first one in my history.
I know you mentioned the fans earlier, and I tell you what, man, I give a big shout out to you, fans of Kokomo, man. You guys got some of the greatest fans, outstanding. Help us make your shows great. Me and Chris have been doing a lot of shows, you know, over the last year or so, and
I'd say over 30
shows probably. And you guys on a every show basis have probably the best fans I've seen.
So you would actually rate our fans as the best?
Yes. Overall, I mean, I've seen, like, we was at a big show here a couple of weeks ago, and, you know, they had a massive crowd, and they did fantastic. The crowd was great, but I'm talking about on an every show basis. I think you guys has got the best fans.
Yeah, man, our fans are loud, bro. They get loud. Yes. I mean, they love their wrestling here in Kokomo, and they do get loud.
Hey, when your wrestlers are in the ring and the crowd gets into it from the first match to the last match. I mean, they're into it, glued to the seat, watching the action, clapping their hands, having a good time. I tell you, they're fantastic.
This will be our fourth Aacw show going to. One was at last year at the old venue. It was actually your last show at that venue.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I remember you guys being big Mike King Mark fans. Yes.
Here we go.
I knew that was coming up.
That shit, bro. You guys were marking the hell out for Mike King. Oh, it's a ladies' man, Mike King. I think that's the only name. That's the only name you guys could ever pronounce right. But I love you guys, man. I love you guys and all the work that you guys do out there. You know, I mean, it's kind of hard for me to watch, you know, a full show. I mean, especially when we go into like some of the stuff. Like, I talk to some of the guys that, you know, talk about wrestling nowadays. I don't think that I've watched a full, you know, like a full out on cable wrestling show for probably about 3 years now. And, you know, I mean, it's like a lot of this stuff when you guys are out doing your thing on some of these other independent shows and stuff, you know, I check it out, but I'm in and out because it's kind of hard for me to sit and watch the whole show. But I'm going to tell you, the show that you guys were talking about was in DCCW, the 1st of October. And man, that show was fire, man. 496 people, just shy away from 500 people. And, you know, I mean, it was Mick Foley. And I'm telling you what, man, DCCW, they give us a little bit of shout out over there. I mean, it's, you know, it was brotherly love over there. And they definitely brought it, man. And that was a top caliber independent show. You know, I mean, having Mick Foley there, you know, and him being the commissioner for the night was an awesome plus, because I've never, ever in my life was ever able to meet Mick. But, you know, I mean, that night, man, I was, you know, Mick Foley mark. And because of guys like Mick Foley, there are guys like me. There are guys like J.H. Hogg because of guys like Mick Foley. And top class, man. Great guy, great individual. But yeah, man. DCCW, they brought a good show the October 1st. And like I said, man, hopefully, I don't think that we'll have the house that they did with close to 500, but I think our fans might be a little bit, you know, I think they might, you know, they might be up there to where they were like on that caliber that night, because them fans were in that whole show, man, from start to finish. And I think we're bringing a good lineup on this card. And I think that our fans they're going to bring their A game. And hopefully, you know, all the guys in the back, hopefully they bring all their A game, because at the end of the night, when it's said and done and the curtain's ready to close, man, they're going to be out there seeing the guy that started this whole thing at Aacw, seeing the boss, seeing the guy go out there and putting, you know, basically putting his on the line one last time to try to fight for the honor of one of our loyal fans. And not only that, man, you know, I mean, it's just, there's a time when, you know, cats like the Golden Prophecy and, you know, them guys come around, and it's like, you just see enough, man. Enough is enough. And it's like, you've got to just teach them a lesson. And, you know, I mean, there's cracks in the foundation right now, the Golden Prophecy. And you're going to start to see things. You're going to start to see a lot more shimmers and more cracks coming out come Saturday night.
Yeah, definitely some cracks in the foundation. You could see that at the last show. At the end, when they lost the tag team titles, there was some infighting and some unhappiness. So yeah, there's definitely problems there that I think are starting to show.
Right. So I think I hopefully I can you know, capitalize on that, and, you know, I mean, hopefully I come out on top, and let's shake the foundation just a little bit more than what it already is, man, so we can bust that bitch and put them guys to rest. Because I'm tired of them guys, man, thinking that they're, you know, ACW belongs to them. It doesn't belong to them, man. It's, you know, I mean, it's all of our stuff. I mean, everybody. Nobody is bigger than ACW alone. You know, I mean, that's the way that I believe. You know, I am.
How long is it? How long has it been since you've competed in a match?
Oh shit, man. Oh my God. You know what? I can't even tell you, man. I'd say it's been a good, I want to say at least maybe 5 to 7, bro.
Okay. I was gonna say, this will be our first time getting to see you in the ring, and I know I'm excited about it. I know Dad's been excited about the bull rope match ever since you guys announced it. He's a big old school wrestling fan as well. So
yeah, so I mean, hey, when I first started in this business, man, you know, I wrestled for 7 years under a hood. Wrestled for a local promotion here in Kokomo called Bad Boys of Wrestling, ran by Johnny Osborne. And you know, we've not only done Kokomo, we've done a lot of other surrounding towns like Bunker Hill, Peru. We've done some stuff we've done a few shows in Portland where we were at Elwood, Indiana, and Kokomo were probably the two biggest, where we done the most shows out of everywhere. And so the thing about it is, man, is what I've tried to do is I've tried to give back the things that Johnny gave to me when he brought me into this business. And I've tried to pay homage to the people also too, because, number one is everybody knows how important my father is to me in this business, because he was able to live out something that he wanted to do so damn bad in me. And so that's why, I rewarded, or I honor him in having a championship named after him. And also too, by bringing a part of the old promotion in Kokomo, the very first wrestling promotion, Bad Boys of Wrestling. And we now have those championships that I'm paying homage to for Johnny giving me my start by having those titles are our championship titles. So it's actually what that is for me. It's like paying back to him, and that's the thank you for putting it out there for our company. So, a lot of the other stuff, man, with flashy belts and stuff, these belts are old school. So the tag team, the tag team titles, the Bulletproof Posse wear, those there's a story behind those titles, because the very last I put those titles back in play last year at the other venue. And the very last two people to hold those championships were Johnny Lee and myself. And after we put them back in play, everybody at the time, you guys can remember everybody calling Justin Terrell and Christian Cash my golden boys. But they won those tag team championships. And great honor for them guys to hold them, man. And they had a great run as a tag team. But, sometimes things come to an end, man, just like right now. Justin billed this as the, teacher versus a student, brother versus brother, all this other shit. And, it's just sometimes somebody else sees a different, they're on a different wavelength than what you are. And, Justin's doing some shady shit right now that I don't really agree with. So, hopefully, maybe come October 15th, Saturday night, maybe I'll knock some sense into his crazy ass head right now, and make him kind of rethink of the things that he's doing right now. Number one is he's done a lot of stuff that I never taught him. I taught him a lot of, I've let him, basically I took him under my wing and basically showed him the ropes of this business. And he's taken a lot of shortcuts here recently, and that's not the way to go, man. You don't take shortcuts in life, because if you take shortcuts in life, man, sometimes you're taking away a good learning curve, a good learning privilege for you to have when you take shortcuts, because you can't get the knowledge that you need to function on every day, if you take shortcuts. So I know that's kind of like off the question and off. I'm out there, man. So you guys might have to throw the hook out there a little bit and reel me back in and get me back on your question. But good times. I love talking, man. And you guys are some top class guys, man. And every time I can come on the show and talk to you guys or be around you guys, man, it's an honor for me, because you guys are some good dudes, man. And appreciate everything you're doing out there with bringing this love of professional wrestling with the Gonzos, doing the podcast, the live podcast, because it gives people a chance to see other areas and see what other people are doing. So you guys are doing great with everything you do. And I'm honored to have you, under our banner again to do this show, at least, this show. And hopefully you're available for our last show to close it out. So which will be
November 12th.
Well, yeah, November 12th.
Yep, you already wrote down the calendar, brother.
Right on, man. So yeah, but like I said, man, we have, we'll go down the line and we'll talk, we got,
big tag team championship match.
Yes, the Dirty Birds versus the Bulletproof Posse. Dirty Birds, man, those two young guys, man, they just come on the scene and they took over, bro. Yeah. And you guys know, like they're flock, man. They're flock, like they have no end to that flock. Like their flock is, and they're crazy, man, because it's like the call, man, the bird calls that they're calling out through the whole time, man. And they're flock, man, 100%. But them cats are very exciting, and I only see a lot of good stuff coming from those guys. Because they're great. They've got room to grow, and not taking anything away from Bulletproof Posse, but Those guys are excellent workers too. But you know, I mean, if I had to bet on this match, I think I would say that Dirty Birds are going to come out on top, and BPP. I don't think they're walking out with the championship titles. So
Dirty Birds definitely have a lot of momentum. That last show was our first time getting to see them, and you're right, man. Their flock was going crazy.
Yes.
And then we've actually had them on the show too once. Looking forward to having them back again. But
right, and then
momentum they have, it could be dangerous for Bulletproof Posse.
Right, and I'm gonna tell you, their flock's gonna be in full force too because of their work, man, and their hard work. Their hard work in trying to get to push this show and get tickets sold for this show. We actually had to open. We're opening the doors like 20 minutes early because of the fact that our pre-sale tickets are like off the roof right now. We have almost close to, I mean, at last count, it was probably like 85 or 90 pre-sale tickets that we already have out. And most of that are the flock. You know, I mean, they come from the Dirty Birds. Them guys have been busting ass to try to go out there and bring their people and do their work.
That's awesome.
And, you know, I mean, I'm telling you, I think it's going to be a loud crowd because, you know, I mean, I've had people coming to get tickets and, you know, I mean, because they know this is the last time. And, you know, some people haven't been able, you know, like they knew I've done it. And since I've been away from the ring for a while, they haven't had a chance to see me, you know, ever perform as an in-ring performer. So I'm going to have a handful of fans there. But, you know, over the years, I've lost a lot of special fans, you know, so I mean, and to the fans that follow me that have got their wings and moved on and cheering me from upstairs, looking down on me, you know, I mean, I appreciate the love and support that they give me through all the years. None of them will ever be forgotten. And like I said, man, it's just, but yeah, the Dirty Birds, man, because of their extra work, man, that they put in, I mean, they put us in a situation where we have to open up early, man, so where people can we don't need that big ass line waiting and try to set everybody with a half an hour. You know, I mean, we need to try to get them in there and let's get the show on. We'll also have we've got a band that's going to be doing a live band. This is our this is our 8th year anniversary. So when I was trying to put the show together, I wanted to do a little bit, you know, do some things that were different. And we're going to have a live band on set from door open until bell time. So I mean, I've been told that they're kind of like a metal band, like you know, I mean, that might not get the taste of everybody, but I mean, some of us headbangers and stuff like that might like it. But it's a live band; it'll be live entertainment. You know, I mean, young kids, high school kids. So I mean, it's an opportunity for them guys to get out there. You know, like I said, man, I try to do things because, you know, I mean, I try to give people opportunity. And, you know, I'm giving these young cats to go out there and giving them some time to go out there and perform and do their work as, you know, as their skill that they have with, you know, being musicians. So, you know, I'm kind of interested to, kind of excited about that too, because that's something different. So yeah.
So they're going to start playing when you open the doors.
Yeah, they'll do a live set from door open until right up until bell time.
Okay.
So
I mean, bell time is 7 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yeah, 7:05, somewhere in there.
7:05.
So what other matches are you looking forward to on this card?
Well, you know, I mean, we have the Openweight Championship, which is Jake Elliott, who's a part of the Golden Prophecy, against Luke Lovelace. Both of those guys, man, have a lot to prove because those guys are young, talented guys. And you know, Luke gets a chance at the championship, and we'll have to see. That one to me is kind of like a toss up. Not really sure how that one would go. But you know, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a pretty good match, going to be exciting. And then, you know, I mean, I don't know. I think I think we'll have a surprise, man. I think people will like that match. I think that match is going to probably, you know, I mean, it's going to be a back and forth match. It's going to be a good match, I think. So, then we have a triple threat match, which is EWF, old EWF guys, man. All of them got their start. Basically, they were working for EWF in Marion. Years, man. They've all been around the business at the same time, and they were in the same area at the same time. With Johnny Crisis at the other time, he was under a different moniker. And then, but then we have Damian DeVille and we have Justin Danger, man. That's going to be a special three-way. It's going to be action packed, man. We've already seen Johnny and Damian, man. We've already seen them guys kind of take, they took the roof off the place a couple times with a couple of their matches. And when you add, excuse me, you add Justin Danger with them guys, man, it can do nothing but get better. So, I'm kind of excited to see that match also. God, I couldn't predict the winner on that one.
I think that's going to be a real fun match.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that match.
A fun match to call too. I mean, if you're sitting there watching it, because those guys, man, they won't leave anything out there, man. They'll take it all out. So, and then we have Shorty P Knuckles against Kevin Panic. I think this is a return bout. Last match was a good match, but like I said, I think Kevin, Shorty took a shortcut and took the win away from Kevin. So Kevin's going to work hard to try to get it back, try to get that win under his belt. And we have a Royal Rumble style match, or a Battle Royal type match. So I mean, like a lot of the guys that won't have single matches will be performing in that. So, it's going to be a surprise.
With Shorty P, they're probably going to play a number of games too, because with him being with the Bulletproof Posse. So with Shorty P, you always got to look out for the number game.
True. That is true. Then we have a match that I'm kind of looking forward to is Axel Cruz and Hysterics will be wrestling the Gold Standard, Travis Southern and Kai Maho. That's going to be a very interesting match. There's a lot of power. There's a lot of big boys in that match, and Hysterics, he just likes the shiny things. So he's just, it's all fun and games when he's around anyway. So it's going to be a good night of action, guys. I'm really, I think that when we put this card together, I think that we kind of outdone ourselves a little bit on this one. So hopefully everything's going to live up to it. And hopefully my return, hopefully I won't leave people unsatisfied with what we go through that night. There's a lot of pressure on my head, but I think that, there always has been, because ever since I started in this business, people looked at me and says, he's shit. He can't work, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But I really never needed to. I never needed to work because I had an easy gimmick. I had a fun gimmick. You can look at me and say that I'm just a lovable hillbilly, man. And, it's, to me, I like to consider myself as a big midget. I love putting those bibs on and going out there and entertaining for the fans. But, like I said, man, this is the, the final act, and the curtain will close on J.H. Hogg here in 2022. This is it, fellas. This is it.
Since it's been, like you said, 5, 6, 7 years since you've had a match, are you gonna have you think you're gonna have some butterflies?
Oh man, I've already got them. What are you talking about? I've had them for almost 2 weeks straight, man. Okay. I'm sitting today doing my regular job, man, and I'm at a moment, and I'm sitting there, my machines are running. I'm kind of kicked back a little bit, just thinking, and as I'm sitting there, I just kind of I just have this thought in my head, and it's a thought that was kind of I just has me missing my pops, and I just tears start rolling down my cheeks, and I'm just I mean, he would have loved to have seen this. Number one is, I mean, he remembers Marcus, and he would have looked at me and said, like, especially the first time when they grabbed Marcus, he would have like, you got to do something. You got to whoop their ass. You got to take them out. And I mean, I just sat there. Like I said, I had that moment, and I just sat there and think it. There's not a day that can go by that I don't think about my father. But to be there 30 years, and just wishing that he could be there, set in front row ringside, which I mean, he's going to be there in spirit, and people are going to see, I mean, because he's going to be there with me. And I mean, but I just wish, he was a big part of everything I done as success. And, I mean, I could always look out there and know that no matter how things were, that when I'd see him smile and he'd look at me and say, like, get their ass, go get them. I mean, I was just like, man, you just got to go, man. You can't give up, because, I mean, he expected it. And, I mean, I just had one of the moments today, man, where, just tugged at my heartstrings a little bit, and tears rolled down my face, and, a little case of the shits, and, little butterflies running around everywhere. And, I mean, it's like, man, I've been thinking about it for 2 weeks, man, and yeah, I mean, it definitely, because, like I said, man, when that music plays and I'm behind the curtain, and once I hit outside that curtain, hopefully everything's just going to fall back in place, man. Like I never left, I mean, because
will this be your first in-ring action since your dad passed?
no.
Okay.
No, I had actually see, my father had passed. My father had passed in 2015, and we started running here in Kokomo again. I had one show in 2014 and a couple other shows at a different area, and then my father passed away in March, or no, May of 2015. And we had a show that was supposed to come up in June, and that's when we were actually going to award the champion. We were going to break in the champion of the business and stuff like that. And I'm 100% honest with you right now. As I would have never in my life been the guy that would have been running shows and put himself over as a champion. But I had everybody telling me, like, there was a lot of people saying, hey, cancel the show, you got to do it. And it's like, no, man, and then other people would say, your dad wouldn't want the show, go on. And I was actually, at the time, man, I was going to, right out of the gate, I was going to put the title on Justin Terrell. And at that point in time, he was wrestling as Justin Hart. And I was going to, put the title on him, and then everybody just telling me, and I mean, it's one of those things. I'm kind of giving a little bit of secrets out there in this business. So, I mean, that's out of honor to him. I was the very first AACW champion. So, I mean, that's what everybody told me I should do. And, I mean, when I sat back and really thought about it, he would have loved that shit. And, I mean, we've been a long way since then. So, I mean, it's just, just looking out there. But I will tell you this, though, right now, just looking out there and not seeing his face, once he had passed, and performing out there in the ring, up in the ring, and not being able to look out there and see him, not seeing him, man, it was really hard, because, I always, like, when I was getting my ass beat all the time, I just look out there to him, and he just have that, he'd grit his teeth and pump his fist, or, like, get up, let's go. I mean, it was just that get up and go. And, I mean, it's just knowing that I, never could let him down, man. It's just, it was tough when I took, got in the ring and could look out there and not be able to see him. So, but, I mean, I'm going to do it, man. I really feel like right now, I mean, as the hours tick closer, man, it's like, yeah, every last bit of me, man, is going to make sure that I walk out of there with that championship. Christian moves on to the next show, challenging Justin for his title. And we cracked the foundation a little bit more of Golden Prophecy. So,
When you win that, I'm gonna go ahead and say when you win that championship Saturday night, what will happen from there? Since this is gonna be your last match, will you end up having another match to defend it, or will you?
Oh no, man. I would say that probably what'll happen is, once I win that title, I will go ahead and retire. Retire again, and basically what'll happen is I wouldn't be able to defend that title. So, the powers that be will figure out some kind of way to make it interesting to get a rightful owner of that championship. So that championship will go back out there, and we'll try to figure some kind of match or series of matches or whatever we can try to figure to get us a new EEC champion.
Keep it away from the Golden Prophecy.
Yeah, man. I take my hat off to Justin because he's the first AACW Triple Crown guy. So, I mean, that he is the first one to do it. I take my hat off to him, but man, he's undeserving of those titles because, he doesn't do shit the right way, man. And I was put in this business, I've had people talking to my ear and teaching me how to take shortcuts and stuff like that. But man, at the end of the day, when you take shortcuts in life, do you really feel like you've accomplished anything? I mean, I never did. I was never able to feel like that. So I don't know how Justin Terrell sleeps at night because of all the shortcuts that he takes throughout throughout everything he does, man. You know, it's kind of sad because like I taught him better than that. It's Mike King, man. Your boy Mike King, the ladies' man Mike King, getting in his ear, telling him, "Hey, you got to do this, Justin. You got to do this. You got to do this." Like everybody's got a devil and an angel on their shoulder. You got one devil and one angel. See, I'm the angel, and Mike King's the devil. But he Mike King a little bit more than me now. But I'm gonna tell you what. After the 15th, when I bang his when I crack his dome a couple times, he's gonna start listening to me. He's gonna hear me. I'm gonna take that cowbell. I'm gonna whack him upside the head a couple times and make him hear that ring, ding ding ding. He'll be thinking it's dinner time.
Now, to win the bull rope match, do you have to touch all? Is that where you have to touch all four corners?
Yeah, you have to touch all four corners in succession.
Cool.
So
Good.
if it's broken, if you go 1, 2, 3, and then you have it broken, you have to start all over again. It goes back to 0.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
I'm glad you guys are doing it that way because there's some people that don't. I know WWE just had a pay-per-view where they did the strap match, but it wasn't.
You were disappointed at that.
I was disappointed because they didn't do the four corners. They just did pinfall, and I was real disappointed with that. I mean, it still was a decent match, but I think it would have been a lot better if they would have did the hitting the corners.
Right. Yeah. I mean, anytime you try to do a match like that, I mean, I feel that you should try to keep it as close to the rules that were put in there. You've had your different styles of bull rope matches. I mean, like they've had, back in the NWA times and WWE time or WWF times and back in the 60s or 70s stuff like that. And then when they come back out and like I think Bradshaw done a couple of bull rope matches and stuff like that in WWE. I don't really feel that those were bull rope matches. I think that was just a bunch of gaga. I mean, the ones that stand out to me is most of the ones that Dusty Rhodes has been involved in. Yeah, they completely, man. But yeah, we're gonna have a good time. I mean, like I said, man, that I'm nervous as hell right now.
I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think it's gonna be a great night, and hopefully all the fans show up. And if you're anywhere close to Kokomo, go check out that show. Like I said, the doors are going to open a little earlier than usual. I think a little after 6, and the show starts at 7:05. And
you won't be disappointed.
No.
Like I said, this will be our fourth time going. And even if we weren't going to do our podcast and to
I'd
broadcast live, we'd go just to watch.
Yeah, I'd go buy a ticket because it's going to be a great show. You guys got that old school wrestling feel to it, and like I said, the fans are fantastic, and I know your wrestlers work their butt off, so it's a great show.
Yeah, man, we try to put on the best we can. I mean, sometimes some matches fall short, man, but I mean, hey, all you can do is try. You can go out there and you listen to the fans, man. You're entertainers. You got to listen to the fans and give them what they want.
Yep.
So, I mean, one thing when that happens, man, that's what I've always tried to do. I've always tried to listen to my fans and give them what they wanted. And I think the fans of Kokomo and some of the people that wasn't able to see me perform before, I think they wanted to see J.H. Hogg one more time. So once that happened, and man, I'm telling you, when you get out of this business, you never get rid of that itch. I mean, you've always got that itch. I mean, but it's like, will your body let you that final push? Will it help you push you to get to the finish line? And I'm hoping that I've got a little bit of gas in the tank to get me to the finish line, because my major goal, when that curtain closes on Saturday, the 15th, the end goal at that night is to be the EEC champion and to have put many cracks in the foundation of the Golden Prophecy and the gold standard. So that is not only, I think that night it's J.H. Hogg and the rest of the Aacw against the Golden Prophecy.
Yeah.
So that's the way that I feel. So I am the leader. I am the man. I am the guy. I am the captain. So everybody, let's get in the boat. Let's sell this shit. We'll sell this boat, and we're gonna sink the ship of the Golden Prophecy on October 15th.
I'm looking forward to, because there's going to be a lot of good matches. I'm looking forward to of course, the bull rope match with you and Justin, then Christian Cash against Mike King. I think that's going to be real good. And then that triple threat match, I'm not going to lie, I'm really looking forward to that too, because like you said, Crisis and DeVille, we've already seen them go at it and put on a show. And you add Danger in there, it's going to be
tag team match.
Yeah, tag team match with Dirty Bird. It's going to be a good card. Great card.
You got 4 matches there that could be main events. So I think you got a great show.
Right. Yeah, I mean, when I put this, I was pretty, when I sat back and I made the card, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of happy with this, and I mean, the powers that be, it's like we all sat together and we're like, hey, this a lot of the guys now, man, it's on the inside, man, they're like, they dubbed it as the Aacw WrestleMania. So I mean, it's like that's what it is. So I mean, hopefully, the fans turn out. I mean, like I said, we have a good head start on the pre-sale. Hopefully we get we get the regular crowd come in, man. I want to pack the house. So, and also too, we are actually going to have there is going to be a filming crew there that are going to be filming they're going to be filming for Christian Cash, because Christian Cash is in a series on Amazon Prime, and they are going to be getting footage to run with some of the work.
What is it? Canary Currency.
Yes, but I think this is this is like
a different.
I'm thinking this is going to be like a spinoff of Currency is what it is. So they're going to be getting some footage of Christian in action. So yeah, so I mean that gives it even more chance to come out and I mean cheer everybody on. And let's just rock the house, man, knock the roof off the place. So I'm just glad, man. I'm glad. Number one is because, when I started this, I wanted to bring wrestling back to Kokomo, and I think we have done that. We've had a lot of successful matches, a lot of successful shows here. And I'd say that our body of work here since we opened doors in 14, it's been a success. I mean, every show, you always want to try to get a little bit better on every show, but I mean, and we do, I mean, like at the end of the night, when it's all said and done, when the show's over, I pretty much up to till now on every show that we've had, man, I'm honored. I feel that we've done the best that we could do and made everybody happy at the end of the night. So
one question before we get out of here here in a little bit. I got a question. How's the things going with the new facility at Carver?
I love entertaining there, and hopefully, I mean, as we come to a close with this being the second to the last show, I'm hoping that we get a return bout for next year, man. It might take a little bit extra to get there, but hopefully when we get get ready to go in 2023. Hopefully, Carver Center um, will want to bring us back. And I'm thinking long term, man, like a long term relationship between us and them. Um, it's a wonderful, it's a great facility. I mean, whether the show is in the old gym or whether it's a new gym, wonderful, wonderful facility, great people to work with, nice people, nice staff. Um, you know, and that's I believe that October is this is their anniversary of their 75th. I think their 75th year, I believe, this year. So yeah, hopefully the business, that business partnership, hopefully it continues into next year and beyond. So, I mean, um, we'll have to see. Like I said, anytime that you close, because we've had to relocate 3 different times.
Yeah.
This was our third time relocating, and anytime that you close the year out, a lot of things can happen, and you're not for certain whether you're still going to have the same venue and the facility that you've had, prior. So hopefully we can continue to do that. So, I mean, that's moving forward. I would love that to happen.
I hope so, because I think it's good, especially with the community center, because I've worked with community centers before, and to have events like that, whether it's wrestling or whatever, to come in and bring community in to see your center and see, even look up on the bulletin boards and see what they have to offer is good for the center. So I think it could be a good relationship for both parties. So I hope it works out.
Me too, man. Me too. I really do.
Yeah, like you said, it's a nice facility. We've been in both gyms.
Yes.
Because the first time we went there, we was in I think it's the older gym.
Yep.
And then last
Right.
time in the newer one, and both of them are nice. I mean, real nice facilities. So great place to have a show.
I'm an old school guy, so I like I like the older gym because it was smaller and more compact. But
Yep.
we're going to turn them out this time, so we're back in the big side. We're in the bigger gym this time, and like I said, man, hopefully we have standing room only. That would be awesome. I mean, that would be awesome. So, that would be a great thing. I would love that.
I know you had a pretty good crowd at the last show, so I expect a bigger crowd for this show. So.
Yeah, I hope we do. And I mean, right now, I mean, our pre-sale, like I said, our pre-sale's almost to 100. So that's pretty good. I don't think that we've ever been there before. So we'll see.
That's definitely a good sign. I mean, you got to be happy about that.
Yeah, most
Yeah, 'cause I
definitely.
know a lot of these shows you sell. A lot of these shows you sell most your tickets the day of.
Yeah, because people don't
Yeah.
know nowadays. People don't know what they're doing. They don't want to commit to buying a ticket because something could come up. Even though they're planning on going, they're going to wait till the last minute because they don't know what.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, you got anything else you want to plug about the show or anything?
Basically, man, I mean, I just want to tell you guys thank you for coming back out and doing your thing at our show. Like I said, hopefully everybody will be satisfied with the results that happen after the night. And let's we got a couple we'll have a couple different changes. I mean, we've added a couple different things, I think, to which might surprise some people. So it's going to be kind of a different look with the product that we're putting out. Hopefully, once we get the setup and everything going, I mean, people will notice a couple of the changes that we made. If they work like I think they will, and I mean, hopefully that'll be like, wow, man, that's kind of cool. So I'm just kind of excited for that too. So I mean, hope those couple changes actually we're able to make them work. And like I said, man, I just let's get out there and let's do it, man. Let's go have a wonderful show and entertain these fans. And like I said, let's all be on our A game and come out and produce. So I mean, that's it, man. I'm just, like I said, it's nerves are kind of racked right now, because there's a lot when you go to try to put a show together. That's like all week I've been trying to do things like, trying to get stuff ready, like packing different bags and what I need to do. And okay, trying to go back and rewind and see, okay, did I miss this? Did I miss this? So, because as I get older, my brain don't function like it used to. So, that's one of the things that happens when you get older. So, you got to try to start doing stuff. You got to start planning ahead and then trying to go back and trying to make sure that you've got all the bases covered. So,
I understand that, because when we do this show, I check 3 or 4 different times to make sure I have everything packed up before we head to go do a show.
Right.
Because you always feel like you might be forgetting something.
Exactly.
Actually, I did one day.
That wasn't my fault, but yeah, I did forget one of the most important things one day: a power cord. Well, luckily we was able to find one. We was an hour and a half away from home. Didn't have time to come back. Luckily we was able to find one at somewhere local where we could still do the show. But yeah, it was crazy.
Right. But that would have really kind of like messed up the whole day, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, gents. It's been a fun hour.
Yep.
I appreciate you guys having me in.
You're welcome anytime, man.
Yep, definitely.
Hopefully we will get the job done coming up on the 15th here Saturday, and hope to see a lot of smiles and buy that Hogg merch because it's going to be discounted. I've got 28 shirts that I'm trying to sell. I don't want to bring any home with me. $10.
Cool.
And going to have a chance. You can go out there and get a picture taken with me and everything else. So, like I said, I don't want to bring any of the shit home because once this is it, man. They're only laced up this time and it's done. So, like I said, 28 shirts, they're discounted at $10. So I don't want to bring any of them home. So just think, man, tell everybody, get your Hogg shirt. All right, fellas.
All right, man. You have a good night.
You have a good night. We'll see you. We'll see you Saturday afternoon.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Real quick before we do get out of here, don't forget we're live tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern with our baseball show Around the Bases. Then we'll also be live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. We're doing the Colts show tomorrow, 6 p.m. tomorrow with our Indianapolis Colts show, Horseshoe Talk. So come join us for them shows. You can find it on the Gonzo Sports Room Network, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, or at the All Sports All Plays Network on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch as well. And then also Saturday night we'll be in Kokomo live at the Aacw event. And the
Colts show Sunday.
Oh yeah, and on Sunday we'll be doing the Indianapolis Colts watch along as they play Jacksonville Jaguars for the second time. So we got busy few days coming up. You can watch all of it at the Gonzo Sports Room, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, or at the All Sports All Plays Network, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, like and follow on Facebook, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Be safe.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.